All right, slightly late, but I think I've started. Let's just double check. Pardon me, I think I'm going. I think we're swinging here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It caught me belch. That must be right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, us, me. Welcome, Marb. Well, welcome, hello, Red Ibex. Oh, the Wow Signal, Welsh Ripper. And we have Ella Music. Darn it. I have a meeting that starts at 2 p.m. I want to hear this. Oh, I'm sorry, Della. I really am. I suppose. I assume you're like in Western North America, Canada, US. Well, you can watch the recording. Hello, Mr. Jason Sean. How are you? Welcome. Hello, DJ B2. Hello, David Splendid Isolation. How are you? And Sweeps Foxman swinging in on Star, joining this August group of seekers. Yeah, good. It's actually October, not August, but yeah, August. Woody Black just has a pair of eyes there. We have Welsh Ripper. Let's have it then, boy. Was it? Yeah, that's a good phrase from the old home country there, isn't it? Hello, hi Woody Black, and hello Patriot. Evening band, hope all is well. Not bad, thanks. Body Technician, Arts Channel, 3i Atlas has come to collect Russell and take him home. I thought he had an unusual smile on his face. Yeah. Hello, Neil Peel, the Paranormal Peep Show. Welcome, all of you. Welcome. How are you all? Well, we will begin, as we always do, with the official Hapanwo TV theme tune, which was created by Rhiannon. The music was created by Rhiannon, and or at least the lyrics were created by Rhiannon, and it was done obviously with like a app, but I think it's really cool. So here we go. Let me just do not make the mistake I did last time. So put it on full screen and mute my mic. Hello, Michael Snow. How are you? Here we go. Right. Full screen, mute mic.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, Cype saucers, and black triangle, Hapanwo. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica, Hapanwo. Black goo in Antarctica, Kepler's from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica, Hapanwo. Welcome to the Hapanwo Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control those created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple. Save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters. Save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
All right, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Rhiannon, for that music. For that, and I'm going to say hello to everyone who's turned up. We got some more people who've arrived. We have here who's here. Let's have a look. Michael Stein mentioned. We got Greg. Hello, Greg. How are you? Oi, oi. Hello, Lorenzo Sinclair. How are you? Wales still belongs to the Welsh, unlike London and Co. Yeah, hello, Hugh Jarsel. How do you do? Did Rhiannon do this version? Yes, she did. Hello, Nocturnal Frequency. Yeah. Song in Welsh, is it? Yeah. No, glad lady, all weaving glad. Patriot. That's not, you think that's me singing? Oh. Anyway, hello. Yes, everyone dancing to that, I see, which is really, really good. We got German mad. Will this ever end? Oh, that's a big philosophical problem. I don't know. We got Wow Signal says, has Ben gone to the co-op? No, I'm back. I'm not. Yeah, definitely not. Based Wales, stay Welsh, says Woody Black. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yes, boy, says Welsh Ripper. Best bread can be found in the Rhondda. Yay. Valley Boy. All right, guys. So what I've got is what I have, we got someone here speaking. Woody Black says, what I love about the Welsh language, it looks like this. Prynandawr, Siddichi. All right, yeah, that means just good afternoon, how are you? Blame I, what is what? Where is what? And there's like a load of letters. That's not Welsh. Oh, how do you do? Welsh is the modern day Elvish. Yeah. Well, funny enough, Tolkien was into like all kinds of different languages and things like that. He studied Welsh, he studied Old English, he studied Finnish and other languages like that. Yeah, but I'll tell you, best way to begin. I actually made a little video earlier today. I was thinking of doing like a vigil and making it an upload. I couldn't actually do the vigil like I did for Mars Day, because I was at work. But I did actually do a little video. I was gonna make it a I was gonna like make it, what's the word? I was gonna make it an upload and say this is like the vigil and then have the live stream. But I thought I might as well just play it on the. I decided in the end just to play it on the. I'll play it on the live stream, so I'll just play that for you now. So we have here a. Where's the folder? Where's the folder I was using earlier? There we go. Let's make sure I get the right one. And I'll just play this for you. What I'll do is I'll do what I did last time. I'll put it on full screen. I'll come back to your comments at the end. All right. So as always, so go to full screen, mute mic. Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. This is a video. I was going to make this an upload, but I think I'll just like make it, shoot a few clips and play them on the live stream tonight, because I won't be able to do a vigil for this. But it is now literally seconds away from 11:55 a.m. on the 29th of October 2025. It's Perihelion Day, and it is very, very soon it'll be Perihelion Minute. I was actually quite impressed when I heard about this, because as you know, if you watch my Mars 3i Atlas Mars Approach live stream, that they calculated to within the nearest hour when 3i Atlas would be at its closest point of approach to Mars. They've calculated the sun, and in fact it's about now, this moment. It's just turned 11:55 a.m. 11:55 UTC. They calculated within the nearest minute when 3i would be at its closest point of approach to the sun, the moment of perihelion, which has just passed. I don't know how they can get it that accurately, but they can. So yeah, 3i Atlas is literally just this moment past perihelion. This is Perihelion Day. Now, I couldn't do a vigil for it this time because I'm at work, basically. So even the dedicated anti-New World Order, truth-fighting hospital porter, or ex-hospital porter like me, has to sometimes compromise. The same way James, you know, with his pipe, he has to leave it wrapped up in its lead blanket because he has to go off to work and drive through the night on a Sunday and come back later, you know. So, you know, we have ordinary lives to live, we truth seekers. So yeah, now I'll be doing the live stream later tonight. In fact, if you're watching this, it'll probably be on the live stream. All kinds of things to say about this, which I'll go into in more detail, but basically we don't know what's happening. That's what I gather. All the most accurate sources say there is nothing right now that can see what's going on out in space on the opposite side of the sun. I say opposite side of the sun, it's not quite opposite. In fact, this perihelion is actually, this, I didn't realize this. I thought they coincided, but they don't. Perihelion by 3i is not exactly, it's not exactly at the same moment as the peak of the conjunction. That is when on the celestial sphere, from the Earth's perspective, 3i is actually closest to the sun in terms of its apparent bearing. So it actually, that day, the peak of the conjunction, the peak of the solar conjunction was on the 21st. So that was basically 8 days ago. So there's an 8-day difference between perihelion and a peak solar conjunction. So we're now past peak solar conjunction. So we're on the way. We're over the hill, and we're on the way for 3i becoming visible again. In fact, it might be visible to there's several spacecraft that might be able to intercept it in a couple of weeks, I think I've read somewhere. But I know that there's just gathering my thoughts, and someone walked past with a dog that distracted me. So according to Avi Loeb, if it's going to do something truly alien, in other words, do something that reveals its true nature as something alien, right, it's likely to happen about now. It's likely to happen during the perihelion because of the reverse Oberth maneuver, which you described before, which is a very, very efficient, it's the most efficient way of traveling in space.
And you literally use a gravity of a planet, or the sun in this case, to increase the power of your of any maneuver you make with your spacecraft. It's increased enormously. So it's a bit like going downhill in a car. You know, if you want to get up a steep hill, and you're going down, if you sort of start at the bottom of the hill and start accelerating, then you'll find it more difficult. But if you're at the top of a steep hill and you go down like that, like a roller coaster, and you hit the bottom and then start going up, you know, your momentum, the force of that downward journey, the first part of that downward maneuver, will help you get up the hill, because it will give you accelerations. It's something very, very similar to that. It works the same. A reverse over-Earth maneuver works the same way. If you're in a car and you want to stop suddenly, you want to change your speed for a lower speed, you can do it on the flat, and you have to press quite hard on the brakes. But if you're going up a steep hill and you press on the brakes, you don't have to touch them very lightly, and the car will slow down considerably. And the reverse over-Earth maneuver is a bit like that. So I keep stopping and starting because I don't want these. I'm using my phone and the files get too big. So that's kind of what's happening with 3i at the moment. But if it's happening, there's no one can see it. Now, a lot of people claim they can. This is what's annoying. Now, ever since this affair began, there have been endless nonsense posted about it, and I talked about this in the previous video. I mean, you've probably seen them. People saying, "Oh, 3i Atlas is signaling NASA. It's giving off Fibonacci codes. It's playing the 5 tones and saying, 'Take me to your leader,' and all kinds of rubbish like that." And they usually take the form of social media posts that are very sophisticated. Often they have videos with good, AI graphics and good voice and things like that. And they are absolute bane. They really are. And they're really annoying. They're really bugging me. And they bug a lot of other people too. It's, you know, like, you may have seen that interview with Dobsonian Power. Dobsonian Power played the interview with Michio Kaku, talking about 3i Atlas. And that's actually, it's so refreshing to see the real Michio Kaku talking about 3i Atlas, because there's several channels that are posting massive numbers of fake videos of Michio talking about 3i, how he's a true believer that it's an alien spaceship, and Avi Loeb is like he's too cautious and stuff like this. It's all bollocks. I mean, if I was Michio, I'd bloody sue the bastards. So I saw a video actually last night, and I commented on it because it was so awful, with a very, very bad AI render of Avi Loeb. And this kind of nonsense, this clickbait crap, is muddying the waters, and the people who make it are doing a great disservice. They really are. So that's really annoying. That is. Now, what's going to happen now? We don't know, and the thing is, no one knows. That's the thing. There are many people who claim they can see it, and these videos are a part of that. These nonsense videos are a part of that. I've seen videos, and indeed I'll refer to them, that claim they're watching 3i Atlas, even claiming it already has changed course, and it can be seen in heliographs. That is, special instruments for studying the sun and its surroundings. Like you may have heard of the Soho probe with its LASCO camera, and there's a couple of others. Now, I've seen no evidence to suggest that's the case. In fact, every time I look at what Avi Loeb and other people have to say, they say it was actually not visible. You may have seen the video with like a little red circle going across in front of the sun on the heliograph. And then it's like there's a blown up version of it. But that is where 3i Atlas is expected to be on its trajectory, or on its projected trajectory. Yet, because they go to the ephemeris, they get the ephemeris list, and they can actually see where it's going to be. But the thing is, that's a guess. According to Google AI, that found of wisdom, no, these heliographs, these solar telescopes, can't actually see 3i Atlas. They can't actually see it. They're not designed for that sort of thing. They're not designed to look at something like that, and they can't actually see it. That's just like the red circle is simply where people think it is. I'll be covering that on the live stream tonight. What's more, 3i Atlas, people think it's a perihelion, it's closest approach to the sun. It's actually not very close to the sun. It's actually not. It's only like about 10% of an AU closer than it was when it went past Mars. It's literally not much closer than that. It's actually, so it's 1.6 AU. So it's further from, it's a lot further from the sun than the Earth is, and that's as close as it's going to get to the sun. That's as close as it's going to get. Then it's from this moment, it's actually going to start getting further away. And by the time it emerges from if it emerges where we expect it to emerge, if at all, it'll be considerably cooler, and it will start to. Well, the activity is obviously cumulative, so the heat from the sun, it's not just what the thermal energy falling on the object at the time, it's how it passes through the crust and through the object, it builds up. But the actual thermal energy it's getting will be much lower, which will probably result in less activity. So that's what will happen. But will it? I mean, obviously, I'll cover that at the time. No one knows exactly when it will become visible again. It depends on many factors: the sensitivity of instruments, the weather, the Earth weather. If you're talking about Earth-based telescopes, atmospheric conditions, also solar weather. That is the solar corona, things like that. The estimate is from late November to early December, so roughly in about a month's time, it will become visible again if it stays on trajectory. It's interesting because people are talking about essentially people are talking about how the generals all met at Quantico, which is like the US Marine Corps Academy. They all had a big meeting there, and they're talking in hushed voices about A, B, and C. Oh my God! And people are saying, well, what do they suddenly have this meeting for? I mean, the answer is it's probably something to do with Russia or China, something a bit more conventional. But people are speculating, saying, well, maybe it's because of 3i Atlas. Maybe they're meeting because they're concerned about what it might be. Maybe they've seen the data from the high-rise camera that we haven't been allowed to see because of this supposed government shutdown, or this very conveniently timed government shutdown. So it's just a thought, isn't it? It's just, I don't know particularly. Oh, what we got here? Oh, it looks like oh dear, someone's funeral in a church. There we go. It's obviously going on right now because the coffin's not in there. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. That's naughty, then. That's naughty. Anyway, so we don't know what this meeting is about. We don't know if the military have seen these images from the high-rise telescope on the Mars Global Observer that we haven't seen. I mean, there's even people saying, well, maybe the images weren't even captured because there was nobody actually running the spacecraft that day because of the government shutdown. Now, that is truly something out of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That would be, wouldn't it? Oh dear, that would be extremely frustrating, wouldn't it? But maybe it could be that the apparently Space Force are on alert right now. No one knows why, but just apparently all the Guardians, as they call them, the Space Force personnel, apparently their leave's been cancelled and things like this. So it's like they are preparing for something that might happen. Maybe the very reverse Oberth maneuver that Avi's talking about. If it's happening, then we won't see it. I mean, we won't see it, but they are preparing, and they might even have some secret assets in the air that we don't know about. Spaceships in the air we don't know about. The government I'm talking about. One thing that's interesting is that 3i Atlas is still on the Sentry list. Now, the Sentry list is something from NASA's Planetary Defense List. Now, this basically is where they keep an eye on all the potentially hazardous asteroids, and there's lots of them. There's over 2,000 of them. I know because I report on them every week on Panama Radio Space Weather. Now, by potentially hazardous, it means they might impact the Earth sometime within the next few centuries. There's only like a couple that are imminent. That is, they might impact something. Well, there are none that are currently imminent in the sense they're going to impact the Earth within the next 10 years. There's one, 2024 YR4, so it might impact the Moon and cause like a big big stir because it would kick up lots of dust into space that could damage spaceships, even though it won't actually hurt the Earth itself. But so what happens is when they monitor these asteroids. Whenever a new one's discovered, they monitor them, and if they're concerned about their trajectories, their velocity, and their direction, and think they might come near the Earth at some point, they add it to the Sentry list. As soon as if they monitor it for a while, if they work out it's of no danger, no threat, and it's just going to fly off somewhere and not come back for hundreds of years, they take it off the Sentry list. So when 3I Atlas was first discovered, it was put on the Sentry list as an interstellar object because it was interstellar, and it was people were a bit confused about where it was actually going. It didn't take them long to work out though that 3I Atlas is actually coming nowhere near the Earth. I mean, this is what I've often said. It's a shame it's going to be so far away. If it had come through 6 months earlier or 6 months later, we'd have a ringside seat. Instead, it's right on the other side of the bloody sun. But 3I Atlas has not been taken off the Sentry list for some reason, and that's a bit of a mystery, and that's something we'll talk about, I think, later on tonight during the live stream. But anyway, that's it, guys. Perihelion moment. I captured it. So, bit of history there for you.
Okay, we hope you enjoyed that. Any new people arrived? I got one more video to show you in a minute. Hello, Duck Egg. How are you? I read that 3I Atlas has 5 million Draco warriors on board. I don't think so. Hello, Tatty Bagel. Welcome. Yeah. No, Avi Loeb is a WEF agent. Oh, right. Don't tell me he's a reptilian. No, Avi Loeb is all right. Avi Loeb is cool. I'll say he's a good guy. And Graham says, always a fan of your streams and comments, Ben. Vince, Ben, keep it up the great work. Thanks, Graham. Much appreciated. I actually have, hello, we got now here, Little Hand. David Splendidation. I'm Cornish, but I'm also English. Are you? All right, now, hello, Dogsky. Dogsky, how are you, Dogsky? Nice to see you. Now, I've got one more video to show you. Now, Sweeps, hello, Sweeps. Next to Ben, my main Welshman is Max Boyce. That attests to all you so-called Welsh gang here. The land of the rocks and the glens. We all had doctors' papers, yes. And we were singing hymns and arias, land of my fathers. Cymru and bees. Yeah. By the way, when I'm talking about like the heliograph, there's a heliograph behind me. Okay, you may have seen these. This was taken by the Lasco camera on the Soho probe. And I'll come on to that in a minute. But I just want to show you something. Because Sweeps, you may be wondering where the little image, this image, you're familiar because this was in the notice. This little image here, which I thought was very amusing. I actually did I credited him. It's actually Sweeps Fox that actually created it. There's a story behind this, Sweeps, where you got the idea from. I don't know, but it's this image here that I put here. 3I Atlas, an alien probe. Who is that guy? He looks sort of familiar to me. He looks kind of familiar. I don't know if there's a story behind that, Sweeps. Maybe you could share it with us. What that is that actually meant to be me, or who is it meant to be me? But anyway, I'm pleased to tell you that somebody has taken that image and they have created. Oh, thanks, Wow Signal. Wow Signal says excellent report. Thanks very much, Wow Signal. And they have created a little video. So I'll let me play this little video for you. It's very amusing. Here we go. Is it this one? I think it's this one.
Well,
okay, we go. Right, let me just put this on full screen. It's very short. It's only a couple of seconds long, but you'll find it very amusing, I'm sure. Here we go. This is very amusing.
Well, have you ever experienced an alien probe entering Uranus?
Let's do that again. Put it on full screen. There we go. I won't go on full screen. Okay, here we go.
Well, have you ever experienced an alien probe entering Uranus? Well, have you ever experienced an alien probe entering Uranus?
They wouldn't let him say Uranus. Oh dear. Oh dear. Was that cool or was that cool? Yeah. So Little Hand says, I've got Poland syndrome. All right. What do you like? Is that you? Does it look like me? Does it sound like me? The person who made that video, I got to thank old John Powell, the bassist mayor in Wales. That's right. You know, if you live in Brecon, you are incredibly lucky. If you're, I mean, Welsh Ripper, do you live in Brecon? Do you live anywhere near Brecon? If you Welsh guys out there, if you live in Brecon, Wow Signals to put it on YouTube as a short. I'll have to ask John if that's all right. I suppose because he made it, but you know that your botched clone. It must be something like that. Yeah. If you're in Brecon, yeah, John Powell, Mayor of Brecon, he's actually he's a real tinfoil hat woo woo, just like me. And you are very incredibly lucky if you live in Brecon. You really, really are. So thanks, John. I suppose I'll have to ask him. I could put it up on it'll be good. It'll be a good short. Yeah, it would. Okay, so to address some of those issues that came up in that particular little report, that little vigil thing I did. First of all, I should go through the notice comments. I've deleted the notice already. But Red Ibex says creepy. Oh no, yeah. Woody Black says, "OMG, that thumbnail." Yeah, which I've just showed you. Red Ibex, creepy AI Ben. Yeah, and Precious Metal gives me a thumbs up. Crafty Nihilist Ben, that picture is giving me daymares. All right, as opposed to nightmares. Red Ibex says first. All right. Wow Signal, what have they done to its face? And Steve Mumbling says, they asked, this is in reply to Wow Signal, they asked Grok to visualize Jones. Lol, it forgot the dungarees and banjo. And then Sweeps Foxman says, Hell's Bells Band, damn if that image doesn't look great. Of course, a bit of a bias here. Well, you did make it, Sweeps, yeah. Crazy bastards, Google and YouTube took ages for them to confirm my login. Stupid people. Okay, gave you a thumbs up here, bro. Got my latest video up with you all over it, and it cited your website link for folks to go to, I mean. Oh, nice one, Sweeps. I'll show it to people. And Steve Mumbling says, we're going to know for sure in a week or two. Why bother speculating? Oh, well, Sweeps. I'm sorry, Steve. Steve Mumbling, because we need to be prepared for whatever's going to happen. And so even though we can't see what's happening, but even though we can't see what's happening, we need to talk about it. And it is going on, even though we can't see it. Welsh Ripper says, 1 hour away, boy, or Trebanog in the Rhondda. All right, so you're quite close to Brecon. Oh, cool. All right, so I'll show. Let's go to Sweeps's. Let's just have a look at Sweeps's video. Sweeps. I'll have a look at this myself later. I don't have time now, but I will. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got here. Sweeps videos channels. Oh, you've got to be a bit more literal, don't you? With no channels found. Oh, what's happening now? Oh dear, what's happening now? Hang on. Oops. Right. Oh, I can't find it. No, our Sweeps. You've got to put in the literal. Here we go. Oh, Rumble has to be so damn literal, doesn't it? Here we go. There's Sweeps Fox. And this is his latest one here. Oh, look. Who's that there? Who's that in the thumbnail? Yeah. Oh, this is Sweeps' latest video here. A big Celtic Swan Halloween. Greetings from the Sweeps Fox. So come on into our man cave, a private safe room for our free-thinking audience. And there's all kinds of things here. You can have a look at that. I'll be watching that myself later, so check that out. I love Steve Mumbling. Well, what would we do without him, eh? What would we do without him, DJ? Steve Mumbling needs to focus on his diet, as it seems his steaming piles again in my hand. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Okay, so now, important point. Now, it's possible there could be an image of 3i Atlas from the Clipper spacecraft encounter. That's from the European. That is from the European Space Agency. And there's another one called the JUICE mission. Let me just check those out. I could have done this beforehand, of course. The Clipper spacecraft. Europa Clipper will travel 1.8 billion miles and to reach Jupiter. It's going to Jupiter in April, right? So there you go. It's heading for Jupiter. Probably should replace the Juno probe. There's also the JUICE spacecraft. Now that is, I'm just reading this up now. It's a Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. This is also European Space Agency, also going to Jupiter. Launched April 2023 to study the large icy moons of Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa. Right. So it's possible that those spacecraft could end up could get some information on 3i Atlas. They might really get some images of it at some point. Although I'm not confident, actually. The reason I'm not confident is because you remember that photograph? There were 2 photographs released of the Mars encounter. Just 2. One was a really stupid one. It was a useless one taken by the Perseverance rover. I mean, you might as well just use the Polaroid. It was just what you would see if you were there with the naked eye. And then there was that ESA one. There was the European Space Agency they released one set of photographs, a stack as they call it. But there's a whole load more data that's classified, and they're now in files which you can't access. And as for NASA, I mean, NASA's still in government shutdown. So, we don't know if anything was actually gathered on 3i Atlas as it went past. If it is, we're not seeing it. We can only hope that they managed to get something because they had the skeleton crew on there. In which case, there has been in which case they'll have gathered some data, but it's just being held. It's being held in storage at NASA until this damn shutdown's over, which means the Congress has got together and arranged a budget for the government to lift this shutdown. Now, this is interesting. Brian Cox warns 3i Atlas just broke the laws of physics again. 9 comments escorting 3i Atlas finally. Now, this is referring to a video which I've actually watched. Someone else mentioned this, and they were quite positive that it was something real. I'm beginning to wonder if how do you tell if something's real nowadays? Here we are. Yes, this is the one.
Skybet can freeze a winning score and win a leg early.
This is the one we mean here.
Been traveling silently through space for ages, and now it might be coming back to our solar system on purpose. Less than 24 hours.
Someone else contacted me. In fact, I had a phone call from someone saying, Brian Cox is saying this, that, and the other.
Something crazy is about to happen behind our sun that has scientists from Harvard to Caltech losing their minds.
Is it real? Is it absolutely real? It's all right. Oh, it says here, this channel is a fan-created educational project unaffiliated with Professor Brian Cox or any of his professional associations. All videos draw inspiration from his public lectures, interviews, and documentaries, reimagined to explore the mysteries of the universe through cinematic storytelling and scientific one. Oh, here we go. A synthetic voice and advanced AI-driven lip sync bring these ideas to life, blending character with emergency. Right, okay. Our purpose is to share Professor Cox's passion for discovery. This channel exists not to impersonate, but to celebrate, honoring Professor Cox's leg. All right. Okay, so they're essentially saying this is definitely
and
fake.
Governments are quietly mobilizing everywhere. Humanity is facing something it's never seen before. The mysterious object called 3i Atlas has grabbed every crazy as a
I wouldn't know that wasn't real. I mean, it's
about to happen behind our sun that has scientists from Harvard to Caltech losing their minds.
I wouldn't know that wasn't real. I mean, that's scary. What's scary about that is that it could, that anything. They could impersonate anyone and make a video that looks just like them. It looks just like them. Woody Black, do an impression, please. What? Do an impression? An impression? Oh, wow! Signal wants me to do one too. Wow, Signal, they want me to do, you knobbers, you bunch of knobbers. Don't you realise that I'm superior to everyone else? And you're all loonies. You're loonies. Because you're not a skeptic like me. Hello, Fettler John. How are you? Yeah, deep fakes. Brian Cox stating that the video's what he has denied. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, Cox, it didn't sound to me like Cox, because Cox is an incredible skipper. He's a ridiculous skipper. Welsh Ripper, Ben, am I real? Well, how do you tell? How do you know if anyone's real nowadays? How do you know I'm real? Well, obviously, I was making videos before all this technology came along. But, you know, I could be, since then, I could be like a real generated image or something, and the real Ben could be sort of like locked up somewhere in Porton Down or something, for you know. Yeah. Oh, it's like that film, you know, that film Looker. That was a pretty scary film, because it's like that. They can fake anything. Yeah, as Woody Black says, this is the world we're entering. They can fake anything now. Yeah. Fella John says his accent seemed off. I didn't detect that myself. I mean, things don't have to be exact to be convincing. I mean, if you remember from my, my A Person Goes to OLM video, when it comes to recognition, because of course I wore a disguise when I went there, as you know, it's one of my favorite videos, actually. People didn't recognize me. If they looked closer, they may have realized it was me, but people don't look closer. There's an initial ident, which they either then look closer or they don't, and it's all the subconscious thing in your brain. All right, so can people see it? This is an important point. We now have a situation where the object is past conjunction, but can people see it? That's the question. Can people see it? Now it's Stephen Burns is the guy we've got to look for, because Christina was talking about him today. He made a video about this. This guy is an astrophysicist.
Planet Earth is a mysterious place, home to many bizarre and frankly unusual.
This guy. 3i Atlas spotted, triggering the sun. I mean, is this the one?
Brits born before 1980 with
ads galore.
You could be
quite dynamic, and perhaps 3i Atlas.
Here we go.
Super punched in Premiere Pro and tracking this thing, but you will notice that it is moving faster than the normal retrograde motion of the stars.
The thing is, I can't see anything in that little circle there. This circle is based. This is a heliograph here taken by the Ghost probe, which is like a bit like Soho, and you can see it moving.
Because 3i Atlas is also moving retro.
See, I'll mute that for a moment. All you need to do is look at this circle going across here. Now, according to Stephen Burns, I mean, Christina Gomez mentioned this today, that it's been detected by these various probes. It's been detected. Now, is that true?
I mean, based off of it,
saying things like, "Look, it's being blasted by these coronal mass ejections," and you see these big radiation explosions from the sun pushing their way out into space against 3i Atlas. And you've got to realize, though, you're looking. This is not 3i Atlas and directly at the same. It's not here at the same range as the sun at this point. It's much further away. So you're seeing it in perspective. So it's actually much, much further away. As I've said earlier, it's actually considerably further away. It's considerably further away from the sun than the Earth is. So you're essentially seeing an object which is further away from the sun than the Earth is, on the opposite side of the sun. If you were where that object was looking back, you could see the Earth the same way, moving across this particular frame here, apparently right through the solar corona. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's getting roasted. It's going to break apart. It's going to get blasted with radiation. When actually, or you're not really understanding. You're looking at three-dimensional space. It's like we are now past the the peak conjunction. The peak of the conjunction was the 21st, as I said in the little video I did earlier. The peak solar conjunction was the 21st. This is when 3i Atlas, you can actually see it in this frame. It's literally
It's very faint.
well, actually, this is in space, so this doesn't count. But there was a point when it went to its closest point of approach to the sun and away. Its apparent closest point of approach on the celestial sphere. It was basically as close in terms of bearing to the sun from the Earth's perspective, and now it's moving away. That was on the 21st of October. That was, I think it was only about a degree away from the sun itself. I think it didn't go directly behind the sun, but I think it was like 1 degree away or something really, really close. Now it's like 3 degrees away or something like that. But the thing is, I can't see anything in that little red circle. I can't see anything now. According to a lot of people, are claiming that they can see it. A lot of people saying a lot of people are claiming that it has been, what's the word? That it's been detected by these solar telescopes. Wow Signal says, have you been McCartneyed, Ben? Well, if I am, the person playing me is doing a damn good job, aren't they? Definitely. Right. Welsh Ripper. Avi Loeb said on Rogan, anyone can see it with a scope. And Christina, hello Christina, how you doing? Gavin, not when it's behind the sun. Yeah, Avi did. Yeah, Avi, I mentioned because I've watched about 3/4 of that interview now. He did say that when it comes out of solar conjunction and it's visible again, when it's out of the solar glare, it will be visible in the early morning or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And you will be able to see it with a telescope. And as Avi himself says, nothing can be classified out there in space. Everything is unclassified in space. He's basically making the same point I did when I said that astronomy is completely democratic. So if it is doing something truly alien when it comes out of solar conjunction, this is not something they can just put a fence around and get rid of the evidence and say it was a weather balloon. The Roswell incident, like all crash retrievals, is a strictly local affair, and covering them up is comparatively easy. If it's doing something truly alien, when it becomes visible again, supposing it's gone off course, or it's signaling or something like that, everyone in the world would know. You cannot just tell all the astronomers in the world to collaborate with a conspiracy, including the millions of amateurs, the people who are called, the word they're using now is citizen astronomer, which is a really, really good word. Arch Channel. Oh, Pie Pounder, welcome. Good evening. Well, Tripper, he did indeed say everyone will be able to see it. Yes, but they can't see it now. As Christina said, they can't see it now. It can easily be covered up. How, Arch Channel? How do you go to every single telescope on the Earth and send the heavies round there with baseball bats and say, don't look up at that object? How do you do that? And including all, Dobsonian project, Dobsonian, what's his name? The Dobsonian Power, this Brazilian bloke, he's got his own telescope. Now he actually claims to have seen. He's going live at the moment, actually, right now. He claims to have seen 3i through. He's seen new pictures. Look, he reckons. Look, he's saying here new pictures of 3i Atlas. NASA leaks pictures. This guy talks. I don't believe everything this guy says. But he reckons here, look, this is where he reckons he's captured a picture of 3i Atlas with his solar telescope. Can you see that? Or maybe I'll put it on. I'll use this more traditional image. Here we go. But he reckons he's captured a picture of it with his solar telescope. I'm trying to look now. You see that up here? That's his telescope. Around. That there's his telescope, which he's got. This is in his house. It's his own telescope. He's not just using online. There he is.
Connecting telescope. Telescope connected, pointing to the sun.
And now,
we go, telescope moving towards more or less the position of the sun. Then I will fine tune manually. and then you will see that 3i Atlas it's very
Keep going. There we go.
almost.
See, this is his heliograph. It's his solar telescope.
Come here. Look how wild it is. The solar limb. It's
In a minute.
try to access precise coordinates. It's going to happen. It's crazy. Movement of the telescope sees the position of 3i. It moves just slightly, and this.
So, like, it's very easy. Anyone with a solar telescope can focus on where they think 3i Atlas is. But can they actually see it? They know where it's going to be. They know where it's going to be because they've got the ephemeris list. So they know where it's going to be, and they know where they expect it to be. But can they actually see it? That's the question. But he reckons he's seen it. This guy, even though the SOHO probe can't. This $1.8 billion probe that they've got orbiting the sun and focusing on the sun can't see it. But this guy with his little 40 quid amateur one can. I
It
don't know
moves
about
just
that.
slightly, and this is the position of 3i Atlas. The telescope is trying to stabilize. I don't see anything. No artifact like the Stingray. Remember that what I'm doing is something that people don't do. So I have no reference how to do this with the solar telescope. Solar telescopes are used only exclusively to watch the sun.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is something new. Let me invert this small dot here.
Yeah. He reckons he's picked up 3i. That's where it's supposed to be, and he reckons he's seen it.
Three eye Atlas, something here, and then the coma. This will fit.
So he reckons he's seen 3i Atlas there. I mean, is that true? Is that? Hello, Lance Corporal. How you doing, sir? You all right? Welcome. Good and welcome. Glad you're here. In 1984, Johns Hopkins created an artificial comet. Oh, we were looking into that. Yeah, we were looking into that earlier on, weren't they? I remember that. You see, it could be that 3i Atlas is essentially an artificial comet. I'm open to the idea that it may. You see, because it has comet-like features. There's no doubt about it. It has comet-like features, and so I can't help wondering if it's actually specially designed by whoever built it or whatever built it to look a bit like a comet because they wanted to fool people. It's a kind of camouflage. They want us to think it's a comet because they're obviously avoiding us. I mean, they're on the other side. I mean, if they wanted to avoid us, they couldn't have chosen a better course. So possibly this is kind of like they've made it look a bit like a comet and thinking, well, those humans won't notice. Well, of course we have. It hasn't worked, but they tried to fool us. Arch Channel said, Eris, hail Eris! A dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt, first discovered 2005, was already detected in the data in the 1950s. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can go back to the historical plates. That's why they keep these historical plates, which Beatrice Villaroyal's been going through. Because very often you can see, once you detect something, you can go backwards in time, essentially, and see where it was, where you think it might have been. And very often it can be detected when it wasn't spotted the first time round. A lot of astronomy is not actually just seeing things. It's like going through the data and like working out, spotting things in the data that's already been gathered. And indeed, we've seen that with 3i because it actually appears on historical plates as long ago as May. Long time before it was only actually acknowledged and it was actually spotted on, I think it was July the 1st, but it was detected before then, which is why, as Beatrice says, it's very, very strange. You may have seen her interview with Ross Coulthard. It's very, very strange how Donald Menzel went around. He went all through. Luckily, it wasn't at the Palomar Observatory where she managed to get her data from, but it was one of the other major observatories and started stealing all the plates. I wonder why. Hello, League of Heretics. The course is too perfect considering a pseudo comet. Yeah, according to Avi, it's just perfectly the it's bearing. He's directly, and he says it is a zodiacal bearing, which basically means it's coming through the plane of the ecliptic where all the planets are. And it is passing all the major planets of the solar system apart from the Earth, which is avoiding like the plague. Lance Corbett reminds me of Planet X. I remember all the fuss about Planet X, yeah. And then Nibiru. Do you remember the 2012 thing and Nibiru? Oh, my God. That was unbelievable, wasn't it? That was unbelievable. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, a lot of people are claiming that they've seen it. Now, I've come across this Medium. Now, when I got on the Medium, I started following Avi Loeb, and I came across these people, Earth Exists. Now, what's interesting about Earth Exists is it's actually kind of a bit. You see, Angry Astronaut refers to this. Now, this is something that sounds really, really convincing. It comes across as very, very believable. Very believable indeed. Let me just. Where does Angry Astronaut talk about it? All right. Because Angry Astronaut mentions this. I mean, I've been quite fond of this guy lately. Here we are. 3i Atlas changes course for the first time. Asteroid warning networks. Watch a bit of this. Let me just watch the bit where he talks about it. I'm going to have to take a little break, actually. I'll put it on while we're waiting.
Good morning, alien enthusiasts, and welcome to another Angry Alien Bulletin. Once again, as usual, didn't really plan on talking about 3i Atlas today, but here we are talking about it again.
Let me watch a bit of this while I just nip to the loo. Here we go. Won't be long. Just got to take a little break. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll just mute my mic and then we'll get going and then I'll play.
I was actually going to talk about some astronomical phenomena that have been manifesting themselves strangely at about the same time as this object has been passing through our solar system. Odd things that have been happening thousands or even millions of light years away that have defied all natural explanation. At some point, I'm going to get to that, but right now, 3i Atlas keeps rearing its ugly head with new developments. The most recent development is immediately after some images were captured by a number of instruments that were demonstrating an anti-tail, something that we've known about with 3i Atlas for a while. But in this particular image, which you're looking at right here, well, yeah, it is a jet, a very distinctive jet that is very, very obvious even to an instrument that's looking at this object from millions and millions of kilometers away, spearing out towards the sun. And then in the aftermath of all of these developments, 3i Atlas appears to have developed a more conventional tail. And Avi Loeb, in a recent article, was talking about the prospect of maybe even downgrading the alien classification of 3i Atlas on his Loeb scale that goes from 0 to 10. 10 being the highest probability of it being an alien artifact of some kind, down to 0 where there's no chance, going from a 4 down to a 2. And then all of a sudden, all of this starts to happen. The International Asteroid Warning System, the IAWS, they have now decided to monitor this object. Apparently, a decision was made on the part of this organization to start monitoring this object for some bizarre reason. And at the same time, an independent group of, I think, backyard astronomers, essentially, but people who definitely know what they're talking about when it comes to the data that they've been providing in their articles. They claim that according to recent observations, in other words, observations made
Okay, that's better. Now, that may give you a little bit of a clue about what's going on, about the kind of things that's going on. Yeah, I tend to keep up with that with Christina Gomez. Yeah, she's very good. She's very good. You can still hear me. All right. Oh, well, I'm glad you can hear me now, DJ. But this is what he's referring to here. It's this here. Earth exists. Now, I never heard of this before because, of course, as you can see, I've been following Avi Loeb, and we'll come on to Avi Loeb's. We'll come on to all his material in a minute. But Earth Exists is very different to Avi. It discusses 3i Atlas, but it does so in a very, very strange way. It starts off like 3i Atlas blowing like a fire hose. That's what Avi talked about. That's the water that suddenly appeared. Well, yeah, it suddenly starts producing water. It's suddenly 3i Atlas is suddenly wet. Yeah, hence this. I made this. Where is it? Okay, let's find this radio show. I did this Panmo radio show about it. Where is it? Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's CERN. Okay, yeah, interstellar object. Here we go. Got to get my portals right. Here we are. 3i Atlas gets wet. This was a bit weird, but suddenly it starts producing water after being producing none for ages and ages and ages. Now this is interesting. Tracking 3i Atlas active maneuvering confirmed. This was the article that Angry Astronaut was referring to. Tracking 3i Atlas, real-time tracking reveals growing position discrepancy as interstellar visitor accelerates towards hidden perihelion. Now, this is a figurative illustration, not a photograph of any kind. Hours after publication, a severe G4 geomagnetic storm struck the Earth following X-class solar flare. Oh, right. I didn't know about it. See, I covered this on Hapanmo Radio. I didn't know there was an X-class solar flare. But there you go. I knew there was some large M-class ones. But there was some some large coronal mass ejections on the far side of the sun, which and it says others over the next 48 hours will monitor whether other solar system objects show similar position anomalies, suggesting observational bias. 3i Atlas's behavior correlates with storm intensity, suggesting physical interaction. Position offset persists unchanged post-storm, confirming independent trajectory deviation. Science sometimes provides natural experiments. October the 21st, while tracking the interstellar object 3i Atlas through observation data, including astronomical evidence and multiple analysis testing, something became immediately obvious. The object wasn't where NASA JPL Horizon System said it should be. JPL's predictions, and there's the actual coordinates. Observation calculation, the discrepancy 15.4 arc minutes. That's quite a lot. That's there's 60 arc minutes in a degree, so that's quite a lot. 3i Atlas distant 2.3 AU. That's from the sun. That's from the Earth. This angular offset translates 1.1 million kilometers of lateral displacement. This is similar to what Oumuamua did. 3 times the Earth-Moon distance. But here's what made it extraordinary. The distance measurement was perfect. We were looking at the right objects at the right range, just the wrong location. The question that changes everything, if our observation software we're using is outdated original data, perhaps from July or August, before JPL's October the 10th update, you'd expect 3i Atlas to be here behind its actual position. Old predictions always lag behind reality because they underestimate velocity or miss gravitational nudges. But 3i Atlas appeared ahead, not behind. Ahead. Same distance, different sky position. That breaks the rules of orbital mechanics unless something pushed it sideways. So we decided to keep watching, and guess what? The gap grows even wider. By 1905 UTC, 19 hours after our first observation measurement, we captured another position reading. And there is the coordinates there. That means right ascension, 13 hours, 46 minutes, 40.2 seconds. Declination, 0.8 degrees, 14 minutes, 24.2 seconds. Interpolating JPL's predictions for that exact time, and there's the discrepancy, 10.5 arc minutes. The gap had already widened by over 4 arc minutes in less than a day. This is a hyperlink, so what happens? That's probably there's some sources at the bottom. The object wasn't just off course, it was actively diverging from gravitational projection rates at a rate of 0.23 arc minutes per hour. So it's changing velocity to a different direction. Oh, these are just highlights. To maintain this divergence requires, and then it talks about the amount of delta V you need, 3.97 kilometers. And there was the brightness problem. All right. And again, it's got brighter again. So this has happened several times with 3i. It's actually changed its brightness. It originally was like about 7 times brighter than it should have been when it was first detected, based on the size of the coma and the estimated size of the nucleus. And also its distance from the sun. And Avi's already talked about that. But then it had another surge of brightness just before it went behind the sun, even though it wasn't fragmenting at the time. And now it says it's now talking about the water, what normal looks like. This wasn't a rendering quirk. We compared 3i Atlas's appearance to other observational data systems. Clean white cores fading to blue edges, geomagnetic patterns. It goes on like this. Coincidental captured. Oh, it talks at David Sarita. I've started following him now. David Sarita. Now he's done some good work with UFOs in orbit. David Sarita, like studying like some of the space shuttle data. NASA's LASCO solar telescope captured 3i Atlas displaying a cross-shaped plasma structure. Right, this is tying into what Stephen Burns was talking about. This apparently was discovered by the LASCO camera on the LASCO solar telescope, and that's actually you got a shape there. 8 days to perihelion. All right, this was obviously on the 21st. This was published. On that day, it will be positioned directly behind the sun from Earth's perspective. Well, not directly behind the sun, but very close to the sun indeed. Just 8 days past the maximum solar conjunction, meaning it can't be observed from the sun. It's the most fuel-efficient window for an arriving spacecraft. Yes, whatever kind of fuel it uses. This, as I explained earlier, the reverse O-berth maneuver, as I explained in my video earlier today, would be the time when they would do it. Avi's also said that. If it's gonna change course, it will do so now. Most likely, is the most likely time it will do it. Conclusion: would you dismiss deviations as complex correlated noise, an artifact, or would you be prepared for the possibility that the system is about to reveal a fundamentally new physical principle? All right, the real test comes from on November the 3rd, when 3i Atlas emerges from solar conjunction. All right, well, I've heard there's all sorts of estimates about when 3i Atlas will become visible again. Most of them say late November to early December. We'll measure the trajectory, observe new details, and we'll see if position offset persists, increases, or reveals new course corrections. Well, that bit I agree with, because, oh yeah, we will all see it by then. And there's all this sort of poetry here. And these are additional reference links. Okay, so here are sources. JPL, Horizon System, official ephemeris data, new data observations, Keck Observatory, JWST. Right, this is a bit what here, because Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Horizon Systems, official this is all like, this is not observational, this is all like just essentially instructions. New data observations, Keck Observatory, spectroscopic analysis, but JWST, right. Well, the Keck Observatory can't see it because it's on the Earth. The James Webb Space Telescope and Hubble can't see it either because they can't look directly at the sun. In fact, JWST would be badly damaged if it turned towards the sun. It probably would no longer be able to be used. It has a big solar screen on it to stop it getting damaged by the sun. Community analysis. Read. This is by David Sarita. Okay, so this David Sarita's here. He did an interview with Kerry Cassidy on Project Camelot, where he talked about. On his interview, he said there were many, the kind of coincidences that, in terms of the trajectory that Avi Loeb was talking about, David Sarita was saying was far, far greater than that. They actually correspond with various, like, what you might call holy days in the calendar, traditional holy days. So 3i Atlas, proof of intelligence. This goes way beyond what Avi was talking about. So the question is, I mean, can anyone actually see this? Let's go through some comments here, because I'm quite keen to know where we go from here. Just see if anyone new has arrived. I may not be able to answer every single comment. I've got 42 people watching. It was over 50 earlier, 55 earlier, which is cool. Wow signal. When it hits people, what's happened? It's too late. Pooja Pants, hello. Good evening, Ben. Please reassure me the aliens aren't going to take us away. Oh, well, I can't be 100%. I can't 100% guarantee that. I'm afraid, Pooja Pants. I can't 100% guarantee that, but there's no reason right now to think that we're in any danger. Right, DJ says to Wow Signal, people seem very distracted in general today. I had to wait for some woman playing with her phone to get a shopping trolley at the supermarket today. Oh, that sounds like a pretty average day, really. 2 minutes to get a shopping trolley, FFS. If people are paying attention, 45 seconds max. Yeah, and of course, that's the average attention span, isn't it? The light of two observations. What you see is the visible phenomena of the meteoroid burning up. Well, yeah, there's a picture was published actually, supposedly of 3i. You can see it. It's a meteor. It's a boloid meteor breaking up. I think it was on Facebook I saw earlier. I've got Facebook shut at the moment. But this is apparently like a leaked image of 3i Atlas. I forgot who actually published it. It was one of these stupid accounts, one of these stupid these what do you call them? Bullshit accounts, basically. 3i Atlas bullshit accounts. Arch Channel says here, Avi Loeb has predicted a black swan event due to 3i Atlas. Right, yeah, the black swan event. Now that goes back to do you remember we did that review of that film Leave the World Behind? We did a watch party, didn't we? The black swan event is they're kind of immanentizing the eschaton, as Robert Anton Wilson called it. They basically, the Illuminati do a kind of double or quits massive offensive against us where they could just collapse everything. Yeah. Arch Channel, false flag blamed on 3i Atlas. Yeah, we talked about this. We have referred to this before because I'm concerned that this may be a part of the whole Project Bluebeam thing. Welsh Ripper, watch Avi Loeb. Watch for this when Avi 3i Atlas approaches the sun. It's on live now. Right. Hello, Fuzzy Shiz. That's a good name. Why would Avi Loeb risk his reputation by gambling on such a huge bet? Yeah, I mean, Avi's very brave. He's really, he's really stuck his neck out over this. Hachi says, I can see a black swan event happening. This could be it. I mean, this could be the last card moment, as Carol Rosin called it. What's really happening, what 3i Atlas really is, it could be that if it is a spaceship and it does actually slow down, the Illuminati might choose that moment opportunistically to pull a false flag, a fake alien invasion, just opportunistically. Yeah. They may say, well, let's just do it now. This is the perfect opportunity to do it now, where there's a real spaceship in the sky. We don't need Project Bluebeam because there's one out there already. It could be something like that. But the question is, how much of this is true? Because if you go to on this Earth Exist blog, right, it says here 3i Atlas is not behind the sun. I mean, people talk about being, again, it's when people say behind the sun, it's actually not a sun grazer. It's not near the sun. It's actually further away from the sun than the Earth is. But it is it looks like it's close to the sun on the celestial sphere, but it's further away from the sun than the Earth is. This is why I'm a bit dubious about whether this is true. So where are these people getting their data from? You see, where people talk about their observations. And I haven't read this article yet, but they keep saying, well, this is what's predicted on the ephemeris list, and this is what we observe. Well, where here tracking 3i Atlas, we documented systematic trajectory changes. Well, where from October the 21st to 23rd? Well, that was at the height of the conjunction. I mean, how did they see it? Where did they actually? How did they observe this? using what instrument, which astronomers, and how. I mean, according to Dobsonian Power, he reckons he can see 3i Atlas. The thing is, I've got it on good authority that it's actually not possible to see it on any instrument right now. You see, here's various you see, earthsky.org. That's just like one of these like astronomy things. SETI post detection protocols, YAON, NPAC. That YAON is International Asteroid Warning Network, Minor Planet Center. Previous analysis, contact profiles activated. All right, tracking 3i Atlas. That's their own articles. And this is interesting. Contact protocols activated. Now, 3i Atlas's new policy. There's actually evidence that this is true. I mean, this is interesting because this, I think, is based on something real. Between October the 1st and October the 23rd, 3 unprecedented institutional changes occurred in rapid succession, each directly related to extraterrestrial contact scenarios. Simultaneously, our observation data of interstellar object 3i Atlas, where from, what observational data, where'd you get it from, reveals systematic position and brightness discrepancies. Institutional anomalies. SETI post-detection protocols. After 15 years of unchanged policy, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, it's the SETI Institute, revealed revised post-detection protocols on October the 16th. This timing alone raises questions, but the content is what matters. New framework establishes centralized authority over alien communication to authorized scientists, government agencies, and international bodies. Explicit restrictions on who may attempt to contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. A communications monopoly that effectively removes citizen participation rights during first contact scenarios. For context, the previous protocols established in 2010 emphasized transparency and international scientific cooperation without restricting civilian observation or discussion. The revision fundamentally altered the social contract around first contact. And it happened 13 days before 3i Atlas reached perihelions. I've heard about that, actually. I've heard about that from somewhere else. And that might actually be true. Hello, Gary. Welcome. How are you, sir? Welcome. Yeah, it's not backed up by visual data. I can't see where the visual data is coming from. There's many people are asking them this in the comments. Well, hi, Gary. Now, let me just check this out because let me just look this up because I actually did remember reading something about this. Here we go. SETI first contact protocol. Right. Use. Here we are. So that's 2022. Developing new contact protocols. That's back in 2022. Where did I hear about that? I read about it somewhere else that SETI had done this. Anyway, let's go back to the article. Anomaly 2, YAON, Planetary Defense Activation, October the 21st, 2025. On October the 21st, that's on peak of the conjunction, 5 days after SETI protocol revision, the International Asteroid Warning Network, YAON, added 3i Atlas to their official threat tracking list. Now, I mentioned something about this earlier. It was called the Sentry List. This is the list that NASA keeps. It's called a Sentry List. And it's been on there. Once it was added there, it hasn't been removed, even though it's technically not a threat. Because its trajectory is so far away from the Earth. This represents a historical first. No interstellar object has ever been designated a planetary defense target. Not Oumuamua, not Borisov, only 3i Atlas. The announcement was buried in Minor Planet Center Bulletin MPEC 2025 U142. No press release, no public NASA statement. The agency has been silent since the October the 1st government shutdown. Yeah, just a technical document noting that the object displays an anti-tail, particles pointing towards the sun instead of away. We've already talked about that, indicating potential reverse thrust capability. Well, I don't know about that because it didn't actually slow down while it had its anti-tail, but Yaun simultaneously announced a mandatory training exercise scheduled for November the 27th to January the 27th. 2 whole months focused exclusively on improving astronomy measurements on 3i Atlas. We've also registered to be part of this newly launched program, hoping to gather more information and data for a better understanding of the future of new discoveries. The exercise begins exactly 29 days after Perihelion. Communications monopoly implementation. The convergence of these policies creates something unprecedented, a functional communication monopoly during potential first contact. The architecture is now in place. SETI controls who can communicate. Yaun controls the threat assessment. NASA remains silent due to the government shutdown. Yeah, including the high-rise data. We still haven't seen that, have we? Citizen observers are systematically excluded from official channels, unless accepted for the new training exercise. Having an NPC code is mandatory for participating. All this activated between October the 1st and October the 22nd, October the 1st and October the 21st, 2025. All of this before 3i Atlas reaches its closest approach. The position discrepancy. Again, we've talked about this on their previous article, but again, then I'd like to know how they gather this data. They don't actually say. They mentioned JPL. What instrument is the Jet Propulsion Laboratory using? I see. This is all right. Institutional sources. It just says SETI post detection protocols revised October the 20th. Let's just Google this and see what happens. I'll leave that tab open and let's just Google this. Can you see that? You should be able to see it. Let's see what happens if I do that. There we go. Post detection protocols. Progress towards a new. Okay, let's have a look. What's this? Progress towards a new version. Right. Oh, this is. I think this is maybe in the article that I saw. Submitted 16th of October this year. This is long. Now I don't see anything about. All right. This is just the title page of the PDF. View PDF. All right. Towards a new version. Oh, I don't have time to read all this. There's 9 pages. But this apparently is where they got the information from. That is the Earth exists people. Maybe if I read this more carefully, I'll know if what they're saying is true or not. Okay. Earth exists. Anyway, I've had a look through this. There's been some interesting comments on here. Some of them are quite some of them are interesting, others are a little bit weird. There's one guy who was just asking them all kinds of things about all kinds of questions like how do you know this? You're asking the same question I was. Hello, Crazy Mark. Welcome, Crazy Mark. Cow farts are killing us all. Oh my god. Are you into that sort of thing? Are you? What happened to the Black Knight satellite? Yeah, we don't. Well, last thing I heard about that it was Billy Carson at Awaken. The WakeCon was it? Oh, not WakeCon. That's my T-shirt here. WakeCon. That was a conference in 2017. That thing in Blackpool I went to. Could it be the return of the Atlanteans? Or did they ever go away, Pooja Pants? DJ. Oh, right. Something about... All right, I won't publish that, but it's pretty horrible what it's to do with McDonald's. And quite a horrible scandal about that. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Crazy Mark. Please hit the like button. Help a good man out. Thank you very much. Now, Arch Channel says, is the US shutdown preparation for a false flag? 3i Atlas, the new 911. That's what concerns me, Arch Channel, because the shutdown has been very, very convenient because it's happened literally the day before the Mars approach, didn't it? The actual Mars conjunction. When all these repurposed cameras in orbit, there were like a whole load of them. There was NASA's, there was the Chinese one, there was the ESA's, there was the UAE's. There were like 7 different probes orbiting Mars, and they were all repurposed to observe 3i Atlas as it passed really close by. And then NASA said, "Oh, sorry, we can't agree a budget. We're going to have to shut down the entire damn government." I mean, not when I say shut down, there's still basic things are going on. I mean, for example, hospitals are still running, the military's still on patrol, but no one's getting paid. No one's really getting paid, I think, now until no one's going to get paid now until they agree a budget. So it's a big bureaucratic thing. Like I said, it's something suitable for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, the plans have been on display at Alpha Centauri for 50 years. Why didn't you know about it? Hello, Sweeps. After all the hype remote viewing, we've heard nothing from that quarter. Dr. Greer absent in all of this too. By the way, remote viewing came from Scientology. I was in military intelligence, so I know. I heard about because of course it's people like John Alexander, Hal Puthoff, isn't it? Like in that Third Eye Spies documentary. That's where Uri Geller came out of as well. He was involved in that in the early 70s. And there was a couple of other people. There's that guy, Ed Dames. And his particular thing. He was his particular thing, wasn't it? Yeah. Has Greer not mentioned 3i? I don't think he has he? No. I don't watch all the Greer stuff. I die from testosterone overdose just looking at that guy. But there you go. Kowinky dink. I love that word. Arch Channel. Do you believe in the Bible code, Ben? This seems all man-made. I don't know. I mean, there was that guy. Michael, what's the name of the Bible? The guy, was it Drosnin, wasn't it? He wrote this book saying that if you go back to the original Hebrew texts of the Torah, you know, they actually seem to predict things. The Rabin assassination predicted the Rabin assassination. I don't know. You see, because when it comes to prediction, you see, it's kind of like a foregone conclusion. So prediction technically is not possible. Because, oh, hello, Green Tea. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Hello, Green Tea. Welcome. Because once you have the prediction, you can like avoid what was predicted, then it's no longer a prediction. You see what I mean? So it's more potentials than actual certainties. The shutdown is so he can do his renovations easier. Oh my God. Well, Trump now has bloody Gaza to play with, doesn't he? And they've got like that bastard Tony Blair in charge of those poor people, man. Those poor people. If they think they've had it bad these last 2 years, just wait till what that monster plans to do to Gaza. All right. What's next? Let me go to my notes here. Yes, so I've talked about the Clipper encounter, the Juice encounter, Perihelion moment. I've been through all the comments, all the notice comments. That's deleted now, the notice comments. Now, I actually asked Google AI about this. We've been told 3i Atlas is invisible during solar conjunction, but a number of amateur astronomers are claiming they can see 3i Atlas using solar telescopes. They publish some images. Is this possible? I was referring specifically to Dobsonian Power and Stephen Burns. And then Google AI is unequivocal. Observing the interstellar comet, it's not a comet, but never mind. Observing the interstellar comet 3i Atlas during its solar conjunction is not possible for amateur astronomers using regular ground-based solar telescopes. At this time, the comet is positioned behind the sun from an Earth perspective, making it impossible to see its invisible light. Any claims or images purporting to show this are likely misinformation. And it gives a list of reasons. Solar telescopes do not see objects behind the sun because they're designed safely to observe the sun's surface and atmosphere, not pick up distant, fainter objects that are located on the far side of the sun. It gives the standard warning about looking at the sun. You should never look at the sun because you can actually blind yourself. And so it says that there's literally no way. And it says here, the space-based solar observatories like such as SOHO use a specialized instrument called a coronagraph. This device blocks the sun's bright disk to reveal a much fainter corona and nearby objects like sun grazing comets. But it cannot see, SOHO can't, according to this, cannot see something as far away on the far side of the sun as 3i Atlas. Now, the question is, so I mean, I really think this is none of this is true. So Dobsonian power, I'm not saying Dobsonian power's a liar. I mean, his stuff's pretty good. He's generally quite level-headed. He's sort of on the level of Angry Astronaut. But I suppose the question is what. I mean, what he's obviously seeing something, but it's probably not. It may be something in orbit. It may not actually be through. It may be something on the same bearing that's in orbit. Green Tea says, "I wonder if the Chinese or Russians are also monitoring it, or if their info is available." Well, you could bet they were monitoring it. I mean, Russia doesn't have a Mars mission at the moment. China did. China has the Tianwen-1 orbiter, which has a camera easily capable of picking up a lot of information on 3i Atlas as it passed close to Mars, similar to the HiRISE, NASA's HiRISE. It has similar capabilities to NASA's HiRISE. It could, even though, of course, these are not designed for as telescopes for observing objects in space, they're designed for looking at the Martian surface. They can be repurposed with a pixel, in the case of HiRISE, the resolution is 1 pixel for 50 kilometers at the range of 3i Atlas, which means that would be enough to discern the size of the nucleus as compared to the coma. That would be very important. It's very important. If we could find out what the size of the nucleus is in relates to the coma, it would solve a lot of these conundrums. A lot of this contradictory data could be sorted out. What's we here? I'm sure they are monitoring. Yeah, they must have gathered some data, but they're not publishing it as far as we know. And as we know that the ESA is actively suppressing information the same way NASA is. They've published 2 images. That's all. NASA published 1 image from the Perseverance rover, which is just like I say, it's like someone standing there with a pair of binoculars, basically on the surface. Nothing better. The HiRISE camera is only designed for looking at the Mars. It's not a telescope at all. It's like a normal camera. And of course, the ESA published one comet stack, which is like a series of photos, which did show an object, but it was actually no better than what you've seen from Hubble. But then there's a whole load of other data that has been classified. Some of it's classified for like 6 years, some for 99 years. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. Brian Cox reckons he's viewed the Atlas. Oh, that video's fake, mate. That video's fake. Arch Channel. There's a lack of evidence for 3i Atlas. This is another Apollo. That exists, Arch Channel. It exists. Unless you're one of these space is fake people. Space is fake. The Earth is flat. No, I'm not one of those. Let's have a look at what Avi has to say. Let's save the best to last because he's always the most interesting guy, isn't he? He's the person that I trust the most in this situation. The imminent solar conjunction of 3i Atlas, that was back on October the 19th. There's no time to go through all of these. There's no time to go through all of these articles he's written here, but Where are we now? New images. Oh, that's that's from the Keck telescope. That's new images of the nickel and cyanide that we talked about earlier. And then what's really then, of course, the anti-tail turned into a tail. Now this was weird because, as we've said before, there was only a very, very small tail on 3i, as you see here. Then suddenly it flipped and became a more normal tail. I'm not sure exactly why that happened. It's probably something to do. It may have something to do with the size of the particles or the weight of the particles being ejected. That changed very suddenly, allowing the solar wind to capture it. But that was a rather strange thing. International. Oh, now this is something. This is the same thing that the Earth exists. People were saying. The International Asteroid Warning Network initiated a campaign to monitor 3i Atlas. This is why I think that bit was true on the and it makes you wonder why, doesn't it? The Minor Planet Center has announced that the 3i Atlas has been targeted in a new campaign initiated by a United Nations endorsed group focused on defense of Earth against space objects. I mean, why? Why does this need to be targeted in a campaign when it's going to never get? The closest it's going to get to us is on the 19th of December. That's when it will hit its closest point of approach to the Earth, which is about 1.2 AU. It's coming nowhere near us. In fact, it's completely avoiding us totally. It is, like I said before, it's like it's deliberately avoiding us if it stays on trajectory. So this is basically the what we were saying before. He goes the trajectory, etc. And then it talks about these various other strange things about it. There's a whole load of contradictory data that we've talked about before. Oh, this is funny. This is a bit of a funny thing here. He talks about the NASCAR guy. Now this is interesting. Now this is not related directly to 3i Atlas, but do you remember the sphere? And those of you who've watched my video Meadows will know that I went to this thing called the Sphere when I was in Las Vegas for the Stairway to the Stars conference. And the Sphere, this gigantic, it's like a cinema, which has it's like the screen is all around you. It's a three-dimensional screen all around you. He says here, 2 distinguished visitors showed at the front door of my home. They were Jim Dolan, any relation to Richard, executive chairman of the Madison Square Gardens Enterprise, and Jane Rosenthal, CEO and executive chair of Tribeca Enterprise. They made an offer that I couldn't refuse to build a state-of-the-art Galileo project observatory on top of the Sphere in Las Vegas. That was how I went there in November 2023. So this is before then. I went before then. But there he is. There's a Avi inside the exosphere in Las Vegas. All right, and there's the observatory on top of the sphere. I had the privilege during the installation progress. I had the privilege of climbing all the way to the top of the sphere with the Galileo team members for the installation of the Galileo Observatory. The experience was exhilarating. I told my team members, if you can make it to the top of the sphere, you'll make it anywhere. Cool. I don't know if I could do that, man. I don't know. Is this him? Oh, Joe Rogan. He's just been on the Joe Rogan show. We'll come on to this in a minute, but yeah, he's done another article about the car. Here we are, the first interstellar car in NASCAR's history. Right, this is cool. I mentioned this before, but there's a guy. He's a big fan. He's a huge fan of Avi. Alex Malik, and he's a NASCAR racer. He does these, and he asked Avi, "Can I put a picture of you in 3i Atlas on the bonnet of my car?" And there he is, Avi Loeb, and his 3i Atlas. That's him. That's Alec, and there he is signing his T-shirt. There's Avi signing his T-shirt. That's the driver, Alex Malik. And there's 3i Atlas. Look at the aliens there. And there's Avi Loeb. He's taking the car for a spin there. He's taking Alex's car for a spin. That's cool, man. That's cool. And there he is. Oh, he's like a trainee driver. Yeah. NASCAR championship contender Vito Cancilla with Avi Loeb. He's 14, that kid. Yeah. Oh, man. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, he's got a cake here. Look, 3i Atlas, Avi. He's been given a cake. A chocolate cake prepared for the NASCAR race in Bakersfield, California on October the 25th, 2025. Oh, man. That's that cool. That's brilliant, man. I've got to put a bet on Alex. I've got to put a bet on him. How are you guys getting on in chat? Hachi, I think that video is fake. The video of Cox. It's not so much fake. It's like they've admitted that it's not real. I'll have to tell that friend of mine who's not going to be happy about it. But there you go. Oh, your clock's changed too over in the States today. Yeah, back to normal when US clocks go back. I had this problem with with the Mindset podcast because a couple of times I turned up late when the clocks changed because the US clocks actually changed a couple of weeks after ours, and so I turn up late for Mindset podcast. Arts channel. 3i Atlas is Andrew Johnson's fleece. Oh, so that's where it went to, the shitty blue fleece. That's where it went. All right, so the acid test of 3i Atlas at Perihelion. Now, this is going to be a bit more rational, I think, than the Earth Exists article we wrote. But he says here, on October the 29th, i.e. today, the interstellar object 3i Atlas will get to the closest distance of 203 million kilometers from the sun, completing half of its journey through the solar system. This would constitute half the journey, as long as nothing dramatic happens to it at that time. For a spacecraft, perihelion is the optimal time for either acceleration or deceleration by an impulse from an engine, thanks to the gravitational assist from the sun. Yeah, I should point out that this O-Earth maneuver is something that we humans use for our spacecraft. Do you remember the New Horizons probe that went to Jupiter? It actually did an O-Earth maneuver around the sun, I think, or Venus, in order to get more speed up before it headed out of the inner solar system to Pluto. This is also true of a mothership releasing mini probes that maneuver towards the planets. It might have done that, and so even if the original craft continues on its way, who knows what it left behind? Unfortunately, we cannot observe 3i Atlas from Earth at this opportune time, which raises the question of whether its trajectory was fine-tuned by extraterrestrial intelligence. Exactly. Yeah, it may be deliberate. As I explained today to Bill Hemmer and Dana Perino on America's Newsroom, Fox News, the fundamental question is whether 3i Atlas is a Trojan horse with the external appearance of a natural comet, but carrying a potential threat in its interior. The city of Troy would have been better served if its guardians had not been fooled by the external appearance of the Trojan horse. That's a famous story about how the Greeks invaded. They invaded it. The Athenians attacked Troy, and they managed to sneak into the city by hiding. They left this big giant wooden horse at the gates as a gift from the gods, or something like that, and saying, it's wonderful. And the Trojans said, oh, isn't this great? Let's get this horse into the city. The horse, apparently, just big enough to accommodate 1,000 Athenian troops in full battle gear, and they didn't even think of that. That's where you get the phrase, beware Greeks bearing gifts. But you see, we don't. I mean, Avi. I hope Avi won't get too on this bandwagon about it's because this could serve. If it turns out they want to pull like a last card maneuver, a Project Bluebeam thing, fake alien invasion, this kind of rhetoric will actually assist them, even though it's technically true that we don't know what the motivations of whoever is piloting 3i Atlas is. We don't know what its motivations are. I personally don't think we should be worried because, I mean, do you worry about UFOs today? Do you guys worry about UFOs? I mean, the thing is, we're already being visited by extraterrestrial beings. They're already visiting us. They have been since time immemorial, and they've done bad things to people. and to animals and to infrastructure. Yes, they have. But does that keep you awake at night? If it doesn't, then what? Why bother with 3i Atlas? 3i. What 3i Atlas shouldn't actually cause you any more trouble, because what difference does one more UFO make? Because that's all it is. If it is a Trojan horse, in other words, designed to look like a comet, this may not be because it's planning some massive invasion and destruction. It's possible that the Illuminati will use it as an opportunity, thus. But we don't know that. We don't know. Like I said, if the UFOs here today aren't like doing an Independence Day thing, then why should this new arrival? Why should we be scared of that? Now, technically, though, what he said is true. It should be something at the back of our minds, something we should be aware of. But I don't think. I hope Avi's not going to take an alarmist position on this. He even says he even believes the stock markets will crash if it suddenly slows down. Probably there'll be some reaction, yeah, from certain people. Some people will like freak out at that, but it may not be as bad as you might think. It may not be that bad. My book, Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosure, available at all good bookshops now, priced £10, is basically all about that. What would happen if? But this is the Black Swan event that he's talking about here. But it says here he's co-authored with Omar El-Dadi and Gershon Tenenbaum. He's written with those guys before a white paper which encourages policymakers to take seriously the potential threat from a Black Swan event involving an unusually massive object moving along the ecliptic plane like 3i Atlas. Well, the thing is, like, why doesn't it just invade? Why doesn't it just head straight for the Earth and just smash into us? Perihelion is just 2 days before Halloween. Is 3i Atlas wearing a costume of a comet, or is it a truly icy rock of natural origin? Yeah. You see, if it is a disguise, then it hasn't worked, has it? Because maybe the aliens underestimated us and they thought that we would think it was just a normal comet and not care about it. Indeed, some have. Some people are convinced it is just a normal comet and we should just ignore it. Karen Meach, who swore at Avi on a Zoom call. Very unscientific, that. That's essentially what she said. There's this guy here in Oxford who's like really been nasty to Avi. There's Professor Dave, who's a total tosser, who's called Avi a fraud. And then it's talking about, this is interesting, on November the 3rd, just a few days later, 3i Atlas will come to its CPA of Venus. During this week, it will be observable to the ESA mission JUICE along its path to Jupiter. Oh, right. So it's not long. The JUICE probe will pick it up next week. However, this is the ESA. The ESA JUICE. Now, but the question is, will the ESA publish that? Because as far as I can tell, they may just take another picture of it, just like their Mars orbiter did, and all we'll get is that. It will be interesting actually to see if it's still on, if it has actually changed course. If it has changed course, then they may not want to tell us. So the ESA mission may take data which they won't publish. They've already not published an awful lot of data. They may not want to tell us. Or they may publish fake data. Because in this case, this is something that could be covered up, because there is just one craft, the JUICE, which is controlled from a central source. So that could be covered up. They may publish fake data or no data at all. And on December the 19th, 6 days before Christmas, 3i will get close. The closest distance of 267 million kilometers from the Earth, assuming a purely gravitational trajectory. Yes, unless it changes course. Will 3i send mini probes towards Earth as a Christmas gift to humanity? Ho, ho, ho. Thanks, Alien Santa. I had asked my research team in the Galileo project to check if there's any unusual activity by anomalous objects in Earth's atmosphere based on data collected by the 3 Galileo observatories in the coming months, including the one on top of the sphere. On March the 16th, 3i will arrive at its closest distance, 54 million kilometers from Jupiter, where the Juno spacecraft could image it and use a radio antenna to check for any Radio transmissions as a technical signature. Oh, well, see, Juno is due to be deorbited in September. And I think NASA at the moment want to go ahead with that, which would be stupid. But there you go. Perihelion constitutes an acid test of 3i Atlas. If it's a natural comet glued together by weak forces, its heating by 770 watts per square meter may break it into fragments, which evaporate more quickly as a result of their large surface area per unit mass. Yeah, the resulting fireworks might generate a much brighter cometary plume of gas and dust around it. Then again, I mean, as I said, it's not going to get much closer to the sun than it has already when it was going past Mars. It's not a sun grazer, so it's not going to get that hot. However, if it's technological, as suggested by its high abundance of nickel relative to iron, it might maneuver or release mini probes, other technological signatures, including artificial lights or excess heat from an engine. We will know better in the coming months. And Joe, yep, he's on Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's on. I've watched most of this actually already. I didn't have time to watch it all, but I've watched most of this.
That's gorgeous bouquets are up to you.
But it's really interesting so far. It's really interesting. It's had like it's had 1.1 million views.
Someone comes to visit Earth, will we be served in their soup?
I wouldn't think so. I would think there's plenty of other things.
Oh, that's a great timestamp to start it on, isn't it? It's like that sort of Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. Oh, anyway, how are you guys getting on, guys and gals? We've got here, let's have a look. Oh, Professor Unwinmost is here. Pridely dignified, more pedal piff loaders as usual. Yeah, I've been having a debate with Professor Unwinmost on Terry Joyce's channel. Do you remember that? Do you remember that video we did? Do you remember that video I did with Terry about this Fresno night crawlers? I've been having a little debate with Professor Unwinmost on this. Where is it here? Go back a bit in time. It's this one, the Fresno night crawlers. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we've been having a set to in Unwinese. Where is it? Here we go. Professor Unwinmost. It's all steam it and dollop it, Pilo, deep folly. And I say, don't you credule the crawlies of the night boat in Fresno. I'm learning Unwinese, just talking to him, you know. Exposy is most as a hoax loader Thruty Fido years ago. Trousy Leggett on the liney wash load, all falollop and dangley there. And of course, I says, all laugh it there. I said, it should be all that laugh it there. You've turned your ear bowls to Landery Christian bow, deep folly. Yes, Christian Lander. I mean, I think Christian might have actually created a piece of unintentional comedy there. But he believes he solved the Fresno night crawlers. I was kicking myself, man. I was in Fresno for 3 days and I forgot all about them. Hello, Pedrin PvP. How do you do, Pedrin? Don't worry. Says Green Tea says, I don't worry about UFOs, but I always keep a bottle of wine and a couple of beers in the fridge just in case ET lands in the yard. You can always invite them. Yeah, you can always invite them in for a beer, can't you? Yeah. Oh, you couldn't see. I just realised you couldn't see my little. You couldn't see these comments here because I don't my timestamp anyway. This is the video anyway. Ben and Terry debate the Fresno night crawlers. And this is, but the only debate I had was with Professor Unwinmost because Terry and I ended up kind of agreeing on the Fresno night crawlers, interestingly. League of Heretics says here, don't you think, apart from Rogan, is Trump most likely to see implement a Star Wars project? Oh, Reagan, Ronald Reagan, yeah. What he already has, the Space Force is essentially that, isn't it? And it's about the weaponization of space. You will stop the weaponization of space, as Carol Rosin said. Max Spears warned us, poor old Max. Rest his soul. Right. Trump's closest buddies of late billionaire tech bros and big pharma CEOs, sadly not the populist people voted for. Well, I think he was originally, but he's not now. He's not now. No. Big disappointment there. Oh, and Falstaff most speak it. The word is deep joy. That's right, Falstaff. Exactly, Professor. Yeah. How disheartening to see him proudly post pictures of his dinner with Gates and Zuckerberg in the seats of honor. Also in attendance was Peter Thiel. Oh yeah, a long list of surveillance and tech. Yeah, green tea. That was very. That was revolting. That was revolting. And the way he's like, so he's chummy with Netanyahu. He's chummy with bloody Starmer. Oh, it's, yeah. Happy Samhain, all you Gallic, Celtic, Irish gals and gals here. Have to split, but leave you all in good feelings. Give thumbs up to Ben. Thanks, Sweeps Foxman. Go and check out Sweeps' channel on Rumble. But happy Samhain Halloween, whatever you want to call it. Sweeps, enjoy it. It's just 2 days away. Tomorrow night on Herpanwo Radio, I've got a Halloween special, by the way, which you might be interested in. Oh, right. Arts Channel says here. October the 29th is Cyrus the Great Day. Trump is Cyrus. 3i Atlas equals the third temple. You've been reading David Sarita, haven't you? Yeah. He's. Oh, you might have listened to his interview with Project Camelot. He did this when him and Kerry were talking about 3i Atlas. They were going into all kinds of things like this. Okay, guys. So, is that everything? Oh, Paz covered it. That's it. Where's Paz? I'll just I was quite surprised. Paz 49 covered it. Where is it? He actually did something about it. Now he normally covers politics and things like that. Ex-British Army Paz. He's like this really. He's been banned a couple of times from various things, but he's like a really sort of softly spoken, gentle sort of guy. Here we go. This is it. And believe it or not, he's suddenly. A lot of people who don't normally cover it are covering it, like the political commentators are covering this. He's been on Lotus Eaters as well.
Hello again, welcome back, and thank you for subscribing and all that jolly stuff. Now,
yeah, so it's this. He's covered it, and so has Podcast of the Lotus Eaters. That surprised me actually, but they covered it too. Which I mean, it shouldn't surprise me really, because they sometimes do They do a lot of political commentary of various kinds. You can see here, it's mostly like political commentary about the state of the nation and things like that. But they actually did cover. Where is it here? They had something about 3i on here. Where was it? Here we are. Look, they've covered it as well.
All right, let's talk about our imminent destruction at the hands of a rogue comet, which is going to.
Oh yeah, I did a Herpanwo. I think I did a Herpanwo voice article about this actually. Let's just have a look. Oh, by the way, yeah, let me just plug this. Essex UFO and Paranormal Group. I'm speaking on February the 6th. That's not for a while. So you've got plenty of time to save up. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. 3i Atlas on the Lotus Eaters. There, I do a little review of this whole thing there. Yeah. So it's interesting when people who don't normally talk about this stuff do. And to be honest, the Lotus Eaters have covered other things like Bigfoot. They've got like unfortunately it's behind their paywall, which I was thinking of joining, but I didn't in the end. But Lotus Eaters have covered Bigfoot as well. Yeah, Michael Snow. That's his name. His real name's Dylan, but he calls himself that. He's just really sort of like nice guy. He's just softly spoken, really polite guy, and he keeps getting banned from things. Diamonds are a scam. Bloody compressed carbon. Oh, well, DJ, have you heard that? You know about the theory that basically the whole thing about diamonds is it's a big bubble that's being artificially inflated, and this means they're basically keeping like most of the diamonds in the world are just kept off the market so that the price is really high. And you might have read this March of the Game by Sidney Sheldon. I covered this on one of my videos, I think. because I covered another Sidney Sheldon book, Doomsday Conspiracy, where it talks about a man who breaks into one of these secret compounds where they keep the diamonds, and he nicks a few of them and gets really rich. It would be like Bo. He likes space. Is Bo into space, is he? Oh, good for him. Oh, thanks, League of Heretics. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So that's it, guys. The shores of Africa are covered in diamonds. That's actually in the book, and it's actually in the book I was talking about. There was a TV miniseries of it as well, which is really good. March of the Game. Like, that's it, guys. I think. Does anyone have any last minute comments or questions? Because if not, we've come to the end of this particular show. Hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Thank you to everyone who's posted. DJ B2, League of Heretics, Michael Snow, Sweeps Foxman, Professor Unwinmost, Green Tea, Welsh Ripper, Pedrin. We have loads of it's gone way over 50, which is, I mean, I believe probably Arts Channel, yeah. I believe I probably get like several hundred, but the YouTube are deliberately suppressing my numbers. Hatchy, Welsh Ripper, Gary Robinson. Sorry if I miss anyone, but there's a load of people. But Lofi Abbas disappointing. I'm still not quite that good at unwinnies. cheers, Michael Snow. Thanks, Wow Signal. Welsh Ripper. Ben, you have looked into the Pentach UFO incident, hiding the evidence of human alien contact. Yeah, I've done an entire portal on that. I've covered it in great detail, Welsh Ripper. It's not far from you. It's just north of Cardiff, Pentach. Goodly byload. That's Goodly byload. That's a good one. I don't know what that means. Lofi Abbas, I'm afraid. Professor Unwinmost. But I'm glad my Unwinnies is talking to you on that about the Fresno night crawlers was quite interesting. Yeah. But anyway, that's it. I'm just going to play out with the theme tune. So I'll just get it here. It is. Let's just get the theme tune up. And then we'll say good night. I'll just play this. If it'll open. Okay, wait. Okay, so what I'll do, like us, thank you very much, all of you. Glow sticks at the ready. Yep, and your all the things you need to protect yourself from aliens, those tinfoil hats and things like that. And so I'd want to say thank you to everyone who's watched. If you're watching this on the recording as well, thank you very much indeed. And really appreciate your interest. What's coming up? I don't know. Lots of things. I think I'm nearly ready to do a new graffiti video, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, I think there's going to be take a break from 3i Atlas for a while because of the conjunction, and now I'm going to stop looking at all this nonsense stuff saying, "Oh, we can see 3i Atlas through the sun; it's there," or any of that bollocks. I'll do another video when it's reemerges. All right, if it reemerges and what happens there. Regardless of what happens, I'll do a video about it. But that's not going to be for a while. So there's lots of other things coming up. But in the meantime, thank you, all of you. Much appreciated. Night, David Schultz. Night, Michael Snow. Welsh Ripper. Yeah, it's check out the Penta portal, mate. And One String Puppet. Hello. I was watching Avion, Brian Kay's channel. Oh, right. Well, I can't expect to upstage him, One String. But anyway, you got here just at the end. Feel you can watch the recording. Okay, guys. So thank you, all of you, for watching Hapanwo TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, Cybe saucers, and Black Triangle, Hapanwo. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star, men in black and Kumbudika, Hapanwo. Flaku in Antarctica, Kepler's from the seventh star. Men in black and Kumbutika, Papanwo. Welcome to the Hapanwo Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control us created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple, save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters, save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.